In today's News Daily video, I'm going to break down the 3 big stories that have come out today. Hear the latest reports surrounding Tomori Tuchel and his intense interest in signing Bayern Munich's Niklas SULE. And for the other 2 big stories, I'm going to discuss Tomori. I'm going to discuss Franck Kessie and reports suggesting that there may be a possible player swap deal come the end of this season. So big day of content ahead. Hope you guys do enjoy. Show your support by smashing that like button. And without wasting any more time, let's kickstart things by discussing the latest news surrounding Niklas SULE and Tomori Tuchel. Now, reports have been coming out from Germany, and it states that SULE is still a player on the shortlist. Now, if we cast our minds back to previous reports, we do know that there was a 3-man shortlist which included Upamecano, David Alaba, and Niklas SULE. In the case of Upamecano, he's essentially signed for Bayern Munich. If we move on to David Alaba, he has confirmed that he is most definitely leaving Bayern come the end of the season. We've heard reports suggesting that his agent, Pini Zahavi, is interested in hearing proposals from our club as well. However, it does seem like Alaba has his heart set on signing for Real Madrid and moving to La Liga. Of course, nothing has been confirmed at this point in time. However, it feels like this would be a lot harder compared to signing someone like a Niklas SULE. One of the big holdups in regards to potentially signing Alaba is his massive wage demands, and considering that Real Madrid could be losing Sergio Ramos this season, essentially they have the funds ready to replace Ramos with David Alaba. So this now leaves us with SULE, and reports have stated that Tomori Tuchel has an intense interest to sign him this summer. And when you consider that SULE's contract does expire in 2022, you're potentially signing a German international. Now, Bayern don't really have any strong plans to sell SULE, definitely in this window. Consider the fact that Upamecano essentially acts as the replacement for David Alaba. It does seem like unless a big bid came in, unless strong interest was shown, Bayern aren't really in that place right now where they're considering options at this point in time. However, we do know that SULE has come back from a very serious injury. He has been getting back into the team, but reports state that SULE still has ambitions to remain at Bayern. He's still looking to improve and get better, show his form, and become an indispensable part of the Bayern Munich team again, hoping that if he does this, his contract will be extended come the end of the season. So regardless of the fact that SULE still has ambitions to remain at Bayern, reports also have stated previously that SULE is open to a move to the Premier League, because in football, you always need to have your plan A, your plan B's, and your plan C's too. Now, I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions, you guys, and it casts my minds back to reports that came out a few days ago on Christian Volk's Twitter page, where he recently interviewed our very own German defender in Antonio Rudiger, and what Rudiger said was quite revealing. Of course, he mentioned that he knows players like SULE, he knows Jerome Boateng, and of course he knows David Alaba, stating that he's actually been in conversation with Alaba. So is this agent Rudiger doing his thing again, trying to, secure the bag for us again, potentially? And to be honest, he's shown time and time again that he knows what he's doing, and the second he retires, he's basically set himself up for a job as an agent. So, credit to Rudiger, he's thinking about the betterment of the team, regardless of the fact that potentially one of these signings could replace him. But for me, I think this tells me that Rudiger has ambitions to remain here because we have an exciting project. We have a top-class manager in Tomori Tuchel, and we have a strong possibility of being one of those clubs in the not-too-distant future that can compete on every single front. So, this is smart, forward thinking by Rudiger. But then there lies the problem, because I get the impression that Rudiger will remain part of the team for next season. And consider the fact that right now we have Thiago Silva destined to sign a new contract extension. We have Christensen, we have Zuma, we have Aspie that can play as a centre back too. And consider that we have an incredibly promising young talent, Marc Gueye, who seems destined to have a top class career here, and most definitely feels a role and a need in the team to be that ball playing defender who can play down the left hand side. It does feel like if we sign SULE, it must imply that he is replacing defenders already at this club. For me, I look at SULE and I can't help but think about Kurt Zouma, and I don't know, in my opinion, I feel it's always harsh that Zouma constantly loses his place every single time for no reason. And a part of me feels like we are missing out on his aerial presence when it comes from attacking set pieces too. Is there a possibility that Tuchel prefers SULE over Zuma? Potentially, but what happens every single summer, you guys, is that when it comes to moving these guys on, that becomes a completely different story in itself. And even though SULE is a good player, I still feel like, would he be worth that investment considering the options we already have right now? I mean, defensively, we've been very strong this season. Our defenders are a lot better than what we assume they are. And we have top class potential coming through the ranks as well, you guys. So I'm going to pose this question for you guys. Do you feel like we even need to sign a defender in this window? And if so, what defenders are you hoping we get linked with soon? Is SULE the right guy? You guys get involved, man. And now, to end with the final two stories, in a sense they kind of link together, so you guys gotta watch to the end. I'm going to start with part A in that sense by discussing Tomori and Milan's plan to potentially sign him come the end of the season. Now of course, let's just quickly remember that Tomori has signed on a 6-month loan at AC Milan. When Milan signed him, they agreed an option to buy that was set at 25 million upfront, with 5 million in additional fees. So in a sense, that would be 30 million euros, which is around probably 25 to 27 million. But Milan, who have been interested in Tomori since last summer, they really believe in the player. What excites them so much is that not only do we know that Tomori has the technical abilities just clocks, I mean, we know that he's a great football player, but he has one thing that Milan defenders don't have at this point in time, and that's the physicality to match. I mean, Tomori is one of the fastest defenders in Europe. He is very good in the air as well. He has incredible recovery pace, and considering his strong start to his spell at AC Milan, where, you know, I'm looking at him and I feel like already. Now to continue on, you guys, with Tomori. Right now, he isn't necessarily considering his long-term future. Now, yes, I'm sure you guys have seen the quotes that came out from the player suggesting that the moment he signed for Milan on loan, he immediately forgot about us, which is standard pro talk. That is standard professional talk. Of course, Tomori has ambitions to secure a spot for the Euros this summer, and going to AC Milan is the best opportunity to do that. Now, yeah, at this point in time, he could be seen as the third choice centre-back, but I'm sure you guys, in the not too distant future, he'll have that spot secured in the first team because every game he's played, he has performed and he has excelled. Of course, he is still young, and for me, his loan move is like essentially, going to the University of Serie A, where he'll be able to improve on his defensive game, on his positional play, on his mental awareness as well, because Tomori's major criticism has always been his concentration. You know, he has moments where he can turn off in a game, and to play at the highest level, to be a first team member consistently, week in, week out, you can't afford to take any L's. And he has kind of demonstrated that concentration weakness in the great games that he has played. So for me, the question now becomes, do you sell Tomori? I feel like, considering the potential the player has, I mean, attribute wise, technicality wise, if he performs, which he can do now, he's getting consistent game time, or a lot more game time than what he was getting while he was with us. I feel we still have a great defender who could be ready for us in the next 18 months. Ideally, I'd hope that we wouldn't sell him. Potentially he gets another loan spell at AC Milan where he's already settled with his teammates, he's settled in the country as well, and we're looking at an AC Milan team that could be in Europe for next season too. Still, you guys, I'll ask you this. Do you bring back Tomori come the end of the season, or do you think that he needs another 12-month loan to really just master his game and come back fully ready to become a first-team defender? Let us know below. Now, this now links on to the final report today. It's in regards to Franck Kessie, and reports from Italy state that Thomas Tuchel is a big admirer of the midfield player. Now at this point in time, Kessie is also another player whose contract is coming to an end in 2022, and reports are suggesting that due to Milan hoping to bring down the option to buy fee, originally agree with us, they're hoping that our interest in Kessie could allow there to be business involving a swap deal, because Milan value Kessie at around 40 million euros. Of course, Tomori's price is set at around 25 million, so reports are suggesting that Tomori plus 10 million, 15 million euros could be enough to secure Franck Kessie. Now, I'll give my thoughts and opinions. Franck Kessie, He's also known as El Presidente, and for a very good reason. Now, ever since Milan have become a 4-2-3-1 team again, Kessie is playing in his best position. Some call him a box-to-box midfield player, some call him a ball-winning midfield player. For me, he is that defensive box-to-box mid. You know, he's proven to be one of the best midfield players in Serie A at this point in time, and his performances alongside Bennacer have shown that Milan have one of the strongest midfield players in Serie A. Now, since Kessie signed from Atalanta to AC Milan, his game has improved every single season. The technical aspect behind him has got even better. And now that he's playing in this, you know, box-to-box, ball-winning midfield role, they're getting the very best out of the player. Kessie has great tactical understanding. His positioning is key. It's amazing. He's one of those guys that always comes out on top when it comes to winning his 50-50 tackles. And when you consider that there is a tried and tested formula when using a pivot of having a ball-winning, powerful presence alongside a deep-lying playmaker, is this potentially giving us an indication in regards to how Thomas Tuchel is hoping to revamp the midfield for next season. Now, of course, there is a massive possibility that Jorginho will return back to Serie A, and if that was the case, our team lacks that powerful presence in midfield. We can't fully rely upon N'Golo Kante in every single game, and considering the attacking options we have, the attacking players who we want to sign for the summer, maybe 4-2-3-1 is going to be that main formation we are going to see for next season, and if so, signing a midfield player of Kessie's profile would fit this team like a glove. Now, of course, he could act as competition for Kante. He could even be Kante's successor, replacement. Who knows at this point in time, but one thing that is known is that we need to have legs and power midfield. I mentioned that Kessie is very strong in his 1v1 duels, and on top of that, he gets very close to his marker. He has goal threat from outside the box because he has a very good long shot, and in a sense, you guys, based on Tuchel's tactics, I can't help but feel that Kessie could work as the upgrade to having Jorginho in the team, because let's not pretend that Jorginho is playing any reduced role. He's not doing that whatsoever. Kessie feels like he would be tactically the best solution to what we have, playing alongside a Cover or Billy Gilmore, or who even knows, you guys. But on that note, that was the news for today. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to comment below and give your thoughts and opinions. But I'm gonna bounce you guys and get ready to make the second video. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.